Now, in the last year, we talked about that it's necessary to build a fence around our mind by being mekadesh, our eyes, ears, nose, and mouth. Different openings. So now he says the main form of protection. Now he started off the shiurim that he's giving here with the concept of Hisbodedus, because he wants to say that Hisbodedus has the power to break through the klipa, because you direct yourself in your own language and your own kavanah to Hashem. So let's see the main form of protection. This is what we're talking about. In terms of avoda, what can a person do? The main way for a person to protect his mind and build his personal base of mikdash is through Hisbodedus, private and spontaneous prayer in one's own language. Now that's his definition. It's beautiful. As Rabbi Nachman of Breslov taught, Hisbodedus is a level that is greater and higher than anything else. One cannot purify his mind unless he follows this path energetically. He must sit every single day before Hashem and pour his heart out before his Creator as he would with a good friend. Now he says that everything, let's read it again. So one cannot purify his mind unless he follows this path energetically. He must sit every single day before Hashem. So sit and see that Hashem is in front of you, and pour his heart out before his Creator as he would with a good friend, that things are going this way or going that way, or what's happening in my family, what's going on in this. These are the intricacies of the physical world that we live in. Now this form of protection, this Hisbodedus, is the highest that there is, and it keeps a person safe from the grasp of the klipos. It keeps him from all evil always, and makes him worthy of all the good that exists in all the worlds. Now, he says one shouldn't make the mistake of thinking that this pathway is simple or self-evident, just because he says, I said like this, I could speak right now to Hashem. Let's see right now that really I'm talking in Hashem's presence, I could speak to him. But to come around to that position and thinking like that is not so easy. You can't do this all the time, because the world has all kinds of things coming from left field, right field, up, down, all around. All kinds of world keeps spinning. That is a simple matter to speak openly and spontaneously with Hashem, because it's actually extremely deep. In fact, because this pathway is such a deep mystery, it's hidden from just about everyone. It's actually a reflection of the light of Mashiach ben David. Now that means that, just like we say in other shiurim, that Hashem is within sight of everything, so is the Mashiach. So in that light that we can pierce and we can grasp a hold of it, Hisbodedus, here it is. So he says, for this reason, anyone who wants to heal his soul and really enter in Hashem's service and build the third base of Mikdash must expend great efforts in Hisbodedus. You have to work on it, because sometimes nothing to say can come out. Now that you see that you're here, you can't speak it. At the very least, he must make this precious and lofty avoda in some way a part of his spiritual life. In general, the light of Hisbodedus is associated with Shir HaShirim. It is the expression of the created being's longing for dvekus with its Creator. Now let's see this. This is what he says in general. The light of Hisbodedus, which he's saying contains within it the light of the Mashiach, is associated with the Shir HaShirim. It's the expression of the Creator, of the created, that's us, the created beings longing for dvekus with its Creator. It's the longing from down below that brings the greatest bracha. Hisbodedus is so deep. It's the ultimate purpose of all creation. It is the nature of Shabbos itself, the point of absolute self-nullification before Hashem, and uniting with Him, because when you realize that it's all Him, and He's doing everything, and you're speaking to Him to try to get it to change, through it we can build a new house, the true bias, which is like the bias that encompasses the entirety of the Torah. The Bablia, so he says, and these are different site references. So he says, if a person is satisfied to learn Torah without combining it with the avodah Hisbodedus, so it's dry. He remains at a superficial level without the devekus with Hashem, because that's what Hisbodedus is trying to do. That's what the learning of all Sod is about. Is try to find a pathway, or the pathway, trying to learn the pathways to the devekus with Hashem. So such a person is more prone to falling from the roof, because after he finishes studying, he reverts immediately to his materialistic life. Let's see, we get to turn this page here, pick up a little bit more. So he says, he goes on and he says like this. And in that world, the world that we live in, which is a materialistic world, you have to put food in your family's mouths. You have to pay your taxes. And in the end, you leave. However, this is not the case when a person combines his Torah and his prayer through his Hisbodedus and contemplation. You think about your learning. You talk to Hashem about your learning. Now, this is what we call Myer Nukvin also. In Kabbalah, it's called Myer Nukvin, female waters. Is that the empty feeling of the womb, when the womb has no child, the childless woman, is us. Calling out. And that's what he says, and prayer through Hisbodedus and contemplation. Take your Torah, try to work it around, but speak directly to Hashem. This joining is what will build the third base Hamikdash. That is the Yichud. It's called in Kabbalah the Yichud of Zachar v'Nuk. This is Baruch Fleischman, Tikkun Elevator Kolo.